Gordon's rapping on the window of my car brings me back to reality. Uncle Dave is the current occupier of the house that I regarded as my beacon so many years ago. In the garden, I see 4 teenagers hosing down wetsuits. They're bare-chested, sporting well-toned upper bodies. You need to be fit for the sport of underwater diving. I knock on the front door with Gordon standing next to me. As the door opens, I recognize my suspect, Dave Allen. I've seen his mug often enough in the newspaper. He's a good-looking man, in the mold of a young Clint Eastwood, with longish brown hair, atop a head sporting a smooth and handsome clean-shaved face. Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is the very first part of chapter 11 and the name of the chapter is Arresting Uncle Dave. And we are reading The Lost Boys of Bird Island. The Lost Boys of Bird Island, a very controversial book in South Africa. It is written by Minnie and Steyn. So this book was taken off the shelves not very long after it was published because there was a big uproar, there was lawsuits, just everything negative about this book. So what I am doing is I saw a YouTube video regarding this book and I am doing a little bit of research, and with that I am also reading the book. So unfortunately I cannot just read the book without any commentary in between, because then YouTube will flag this book and I will no longer be able to share this with you. So you will hear my commentary in between. But I also want you to give your inputs in the comment section below. And with that said, please check if you are subscribed. If not, please hit the subscribe button and also make sure the notification bell is on so you never miss an upload. And also like this video if you like reading books with me. It is also a way for the algorithm to push this out to more people, and I think it definitely should be, whether you believe in the allegations or not. I think it's still a very interesting book to read. And then the other reason for my commentary is not just to share the book with you, but also to share what actually can happen and actually does happen. So it's not to say the allegations in this book is 100% true, but these kinds of stuff definitely happens. So let's continue with the book, and I just want to add my first piece of commentary on this. So they're actually at Dave Allen's house now and to see if they can arrest him. But what do they see the first moment they pitch up to the house? They see 4 teenagers hosing down wetsuits. So immediately, is it a red flag? Is it not? Is it teenagers that's just part of the diving community? Or is it teenagers that's not really supposed to be there? So let's continue. He has broad shoulders and a muscular chest, with both arms displaying a decent set of biceps. This dude is an athlete. Make no mistake. I'm sure that there's a rippling six-pack beneath the t-shirt. This is the type of guy women swoon over. They'd love him to place his shoes underneath their bed. So the picture painted for us of Dave Allen isn't just one of a successful businessman. It's also one of a manly man. And I also just hate this saying, they'd love him to place his shoes beneath their beds. I've heard that before numerous times with the older generation, and it's just something I don't like. Dave Allen is a cult figure in our hometown. He hobnobs with the creme de la creme of society. He discovered the wreck of the Sacramento and the Doddington just off the South African coastline a few years ago. And donated some cannons, muskets, and ammunition to the local museum. He is highly respected by many, but not by me. So obviously he won't be respected by Mad Max because of all the allegations that has been brought forward. And I also just want to add that I have made a first video about Dave Allen, just looking at the first part of his life and how he came to be a respected businessman in the community. And I didn't really do further research at this stage because I wanted to do it in the sequence that I'm reading the book, and I think I'm now at a stage when I've put this chapter in that I'm going to continue with the research on him, obviously then after his arrest. I introduce Gordon and myself, displaying the search warrant at the same time. The warrant has been issued by the brigadier. It's all legal, but I've kept it close. So I just come back to saying, the people that doesn't believe in this book, this brigadier plays a very big role because he actually put Max on this case where he's not really supposed to be. And the brigadier issued this arrest warrant. So obviously my main question would be, was the brigadier ever questioned and asked of any validity of the allegations? Or, obviously he had to see everything before he could issue this warrant. I did not fancy playing for the warrant through the office of the senior public prosecutor. Dave Allen has fingers in many pies. Any leak whatsoever and my investigation would most likely be scuppered. I tell Allen what he needs to know, and that's all. We're here to search for pornography and pornography-related material. He's immediately up in arms. I'm a lieutenant in the South African police, he protests, and right now I have guests. This is a most inopportune time. Can you please return later? Okay, so obviously if someone knocks at your door and you have guests and they are actually there with a search warrant for pornography or pornography-related material, you would be up in arms too. Someone not having those type of stuff with them, they would immediately say, what are you doing? Why are you even here? So I won't say that shows that he would be guilty, even though according to the allegations he was. But anyone, I would think, would react. A normal person won't just say, well, don't worry the people in my living room, just come in and check for any material you want to. I think anyone would be up in arms. But what's your thought on that? I'm a lieutenant in the South African police, he protests. So immediately, and that's the part I don't really like, is that he flaunts who and what he is. Even a lieutenant can have material like that, and we know that by now. So for him just thinking that if he says, I'm a lieutenant, everybody should listen to him, it's a little bit of a power play. And they mention that in the book now. So let's continue. He's pulling the rank card, but it's a wasted effort. He's a reservist lieutenant, an honorary appointment. I'm a fully fledged cop vested with genuine power and authority, although I'm only a sergeant. I'm his senior in this situation, and I'm sure to let him know that. And I would think good for you, Max, because Dave was supposed to know all this already. You have to get rid of your guest, I tell him, because I'm executing this warrant immediately. If anything onward is found on your property, I will be obliged to arrest everyone present. The choice is yours. I follow him into the house, determined not to let him out of my sight. Alan's house guests are two young, effeminate boys. They immediately sense that something is up and take off like a shot. It must have been my refusal to return their smiles. Okay, so outside we've got 4 boys, and they were a bit muscular. But inside we have 2 boys, young boys, that's a little bit feminine. And Not to play off any young boys, but I mean, that's the guests you are worried about. Even something as serious as the police pitching up at your door. As I advised Gordon, I expect that the porn is somewhere in the bedroom. My witness had vouched for this from his hospital bed. So I play a little game with Uncle Dave. We search the lounge first. Nothing. Then the kitchen. Nothing. The bathroom turns up blank as well. But as I edge closer to his bedroom, I notice he is visibly nervous. Finally, we go into the bedroom. By now, Uncle Dave is a wreck. And I think that was a very good tactic. Obviously, he's a seasoned officer and should by this time know what to look for in body language. So he could easily see that his anxiety levels would climb the closer they get to the bedroom, if it was actually in the bedroom, if he had anything to worry about. Gordon and I are old hands in this sort of search, but we're coming up with absolutely zilch. Not a single magazine or video anywhere. I return to the wardrobe. I've already checked it, inside out as well as top to bottom. I climb back on the chair to check the top shelf once again. Then my eye catches something I must have missed before. An indentation to the left and the right of the wardrobe's top panel. I call for a torch. Gordon obliges, and Uncle Dave is now very jittery. I mean, you can actually think that he would be. And to me, it's somewhat strange that they wouldn't find anything else in any other room. You would think that sometimes these types of people get lazy and they maybe just put a book or an item in a bedside drawer or something, so they keep most of the stash safe, but just sometimes let something lay around. So Uncle Dave was actually very, very thorough with keeping all this very private. But now Max can clearly see that he's onto something with Uncle Dave being very jittery, according to him. Situated below each indentation are two miniature handles. I tug at both of them simultaneously. Pain shoots through my broken pinky, but there's no stopping me. The entire top panel of the wardrobe lifts. I'm close, I know. The pain in my finger is forgotten. The panel rises 90 degrees, revealing a hidden compartment. And there it is. A pile of pornographic literature, gay magazines, and videos filing the component to the hilt. Everything appears to be of a horrible nature. Bingo, I said, winking at Gordon. The suspect calmly sits down on the bed and states resignedly, "Okay, you've got me." So for me, it's strange that Uncle Dave would then immediately just sit down on his bed and say, "Okay, you've got me." That is except if he knows exactly that the kind of stuff that he has is illegal. But still, you would think that someone like him would fight till the end. I mean, he's got everything to lose. I just don't understand this part. What do you think? Back to the book. This angers me. Got you, you piece of shit. Is this what you think? Got you for possession of porn material. Big deal. Your shock is still coming. I don't only have you, I'm going to bury you, I think to myself. If only I could say it out loud. I mean, obviously the main idea wasn't to get him on those types of material. Uncle Dave has now adopted a smug attitude. Possession of does not carry a heavy sentence. It'll be a small fine, that's all, and he knows it. His smugness prompts in me a urge to drive my fist through his chest. I'm going to bring him down to earth. Forcing myself to remain calm, I haul out the case docket that I've been concealing under my shirt. Mr. Dave Allen, I'm arresting you for the possession of material which is filed as Charge 1. I'm also arresting you for allegedly committing offences with minor persons, boys under the age of 19, also commonly known as statutory. This will be filed as Charge 2. You have the right to remain silent, or you can choose to make a statement. Should you wish to make a statement, it will be taken down in writing and may be used as evidence against you. Do you understand? He is utterly bewildered, unable to accept that his little private world has been infiltrated by the long arm of the law. He is untouchable, or so he thought, with friends in very high places. Sergeant Lamastra, please secure the suspect in accordance with police regulations. So I think Dave Allen would have never known that he was going to be written his rights there and then. And then obviously Charge 2, which is a wild one. I don't think he expected that that would happen. Gordon handcuffs Uncle Dave's hands behind his back while I hastily gather all the evidence from the hidden compartment. We march him outside to my vehicle. His protégés are now standing close by. Their supposed hero has taken a massive fall. I'm enjoying the humiliation he endured, and I consider my feelings justified. This one is for me and all the other children these fucks prey on. And just to think about it, I mean the two boys that was inside this house, was there actually something going to play out that very day, that very moment? Why would the two boys be in his house? For what reason? Again, I can understand the boys outside housing the wetsuits. I can sort of understand. But the boys inside, I mean, it's clearly different types of boys. What would have happened if they didn't arrive that day, that time? We wrapped up the arrest earlier than expected. Gordon still has time on his hands and agrees to follow us to the cop shop. I proceed to the Louis Lagrange Square police station, Gordon in tow. Dave Allen is seated next to me. He's not a smug anymore. In fact, he's displaying signs of defeat. There is an aura of hopelessness around him now. He's definitely not comfortable with his hands cuffed behind his back. But I don't give a shit. And you guys, I know there's a lot of bleeps in this video, but please just bear with me. I mean, this guy is swearing and using words in this book that I'm not allowed to use on YouTube. So for that reason, I'm bleeping out these words. He almost immediately starts to talk. In fact, he begins to sing like a canary. He makes astonishing revelations, but he's careful. At first, he refuses to mention any names. He's trying to place a major part of the blame at the feet of nameless people. Nameless, powerful people. But what he's telling me means nothing. He needs to put it in writing with an accompanying signature. So I simply ignore him. And then he drops a bombshell. He mentions a name. And not just any name, but the name of a very powerful cabinet minister. I'm taken aback, but I'm careful to conceal my shock. Then he names 2 more cabinet ministers. He threatens to open the whole can of worms. Is this guy for real? And again, I would think that he would just keep his mouth shut. I mean, these guys, if true, are seasoned predators, seasoned manipulators. Why on earth would he sing like a canary? He would actually do everything to protect himself. So this is the part that doesn't stick with me. I don't know. What do you think? And the main reason this book was taken off the shelves was not really about Dave Allen. It was about the cabinet ministers that he mentioned. And I mean, if he's got his tentacles in powerful places, Why not keep his mouth shut and try and get those people to pull a few strings? It just doesn't make sense to me that Dave Allen would immediately name 3 powerful people, all within a few minutes. I mean, they haven't even arrived at, like they call it, the cop shop yet. So the question again, is this guy for real? He's clearly not prepared to take the fall on his own. I continue with the silent treatment, confident that, came tomorrow afternoon, he will have revealed the identities of the perpetrators involved. My refusal to respond to his allegations is having a telling effect. It's not long before he drops another bombshell. He offers me a bribe to make everything disappear, 100,000 rand to be exact. And again, why did he mention these names? Why not just offer him the bribe from the very start? That I just don't understand it. This is a lot of money in my world. I think about it. I could settle the bond in my house and still have a huge chunk of change. Or I could resign from the force and open a pub, Bernie and I in collusion. It's a nice thought, but I don't answer. A silence ensues as we complete the rest of the journey to the cop shop. I take Alan's fingerprints on the prescribed form. He refuses to make a statement. I thought as much. Anyway, I prefer it this way. I want to let him hang himself, figuratively speaking, so I adopt an appropriate strategy. I release him on a J127, an official warning to appear in Court 15 of New Law Courts the following day, no later than 9 a.m. I suspect that he's going to contact his cohorts, thereby setting cat amongst the pigeons. Nervous people tend to rattle, and when they rattle, they make mistakes. Plenty of them. Okay, so basically Dave Allen was put in the vehicle. He would spill most of the beans in the vehicle, and then he introduced a bribe. But when they get to the police station, he doesn't say anything, and his fingerprints is taken, and just as fast as that, he said, okay, you can go home now. I want to see you tomorrow morning. So that was a tactic, I would think, that could basically blow up in his face, but let's see how it worked out for him. Alan declines an offer to be taken home. Instead, he asks to make a phone call. I refer him to the charge office sergeant. As for me, I'm feeling good. The game is in play and the odds are in my favor. I decide to hide out for a while at John McDonald's place. John is a motor mechanic by trade who recently joined our unit as a reservist. But first, I have to call and make sure he's home. I pull over next to the public phone booth and dial his number. He answers. And obviously by that time there wasn't cell phones and stuff like that. I would wonder why he wouldn't call this John person from the station, because he wanted to go there anyway. Yeah, that it's just another weird thought. I mean, why drive halfway there and then phone the guy? But anyway, and the phone call goes a little like this. Hey, John, what are you up to? I ask. How's it, Max? Got a fire going. Bring a bottle. I've got plenty of meat. Brilliant, mate. See you in a jiffy. I dart across the road to the bottle store and pick up a bottle of J&B before heading to John's place. As I pull into his driveway, I'm greeted by the smell of burning doringhout. The fire is going great guns. This is going to be a great night, I say to myself. John is a jovial character whose face takes a reddish tint once the liquor starts to talk. And I can see that it's already talking. No problem. It may be early in the evening, but John is capable of drinking through until the next morning. Not that this session will last that long. I have to pick Bernie up at 10. I watch as the fire slowly devours the doringhout as John feeds the flames. My whiskey glass, lovingly grasped in my good hand, is filled to the rim with ice and soda. I'm feeling relaxed and satisfied by the day's work. And that's another thing. I would think that there's so many tidbits in this book that is actually the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But I also think that there's tidbits in this book that is definitely not true. And I don't know, maybe if some of you are police officers or you have police officers as husbands, Max was working in the narcotics division, so now he's actually completely out of his comfort zone. And not just that, it's a high-profile person that he just took to the station and took his fingerprints. So it's quite odd to me that you would think that he would be feeling relaxed and satisfied. I would think that he would be quite stressed to get this thing in the right direction, especially with Dave having good connections. I mean, whatever he said in the car doesn't mean a whole lot because it wasn't on paper. So it's as if it was never said. Dave Allen can do whatever he wanted. There's no proof that that was said. So just the fact that he is relaxed and satisfied, I don't think I believe that. Suddenly my pager buzzes, ruining the moment. I don't recognize the number. John gives me a nod, allowing me to use his phone. I place the call, which is answered after 2 rings. Kabega Park Police Station, Constable Rudy speaking. How may I help you? I know Rudy. Rudy, it's Max here. What's up? Max, we've got problems with a suspect of yours, Dave Allen. The complainant called us to say he's been harassing her. We had to remove him from her house. He wants her to drop the charges. Uncle Dave's co-shorts have told him to do this. They're panicking, just as I thought. Is he there with you, Rudy? Yes, Max. Put him on the line. And that's another reason, come to think of it now, why I say that why would he be satisfied and like feeling fulfilled? It's absolutely not his line of work. And him being a police officer, why didn't he think of the safety of the person who actually filed the complaint? What did he say to Dave Allen? And it's just strange that this person would go directly to that house. I mean, the allegations were that there were numerous boys. Why on earth would Dave Allen immediately know to go to the person that Max spoke to, except if Max said something? So that also is strange to me. He could have gone to any house, but they say he went to the complainant's house and there was actually just one complainant there. So that's also a little bit weird to me. It's not like it was just this one boy that went through it. We know that by reading the first part of this book. So I would wonder if this isn't also a fabricated part, or I just don't get how he couldn't think of keeping her safe. But anyway, maybe he was just thinking about his J&B and soda. Dave Allen takes the phone. Sergeant, I'm just trying to fix things, that's all. Meant no harm, really, he pleads pathetically. Well, you're going to cause no good. Those cops want to arrest you right now for interfering with witnesses. I sketched the current state of affairs for him. Listen, tomorrow's procedure in court will only be a formality, I explain. The prosecutor is going to remand the case, giving you an opportunity to appoint an attorney. You'll have plenty of time to find legal counsel or to come to speak to me. I need you to recall what you said in my car, something about you not being the only person involved. If you want to talk to me in an honest matter, maybe we can strike a deal. You could possibly turn state witness if there are bigger fish involved. I'm not promising you anything, but that's a possibility. Now go home, Mr. Allen. Give it a rest. Okay, so think about it now, and I really want your input in this. Dave Allen stops at the phone booth, calls his friend, asks if he can come over, He drops by the liquor store, buys something, goes to his friend, has time to greet him, pour him a glass of J&B and soda, sitting, looking at the fire and feeling very comfortable. Okay, Dave Allen didn't accept a lift home. So there would be two scenarios. One, where Dave Allen, he actually wanted to do a phone call. He calls someone to just take him home. Someone completely not a part of any of this. When he reaches home, he gets in his car, or no, he actually phones whoever, gets in his car and drives to that person. So that's a up and down drive. Or he gets someone to take him home, someone that is involved in this. They speak in the vehicle about everything. They won't take Dave Allen to that person. So they basically drop him home. He takes his own vehicle and goes to this woman's house. I don't know. He probably dropped the boys there. That's why he knows where she lives. But not just that. Also, then the woman calls the police and they actually drive from wherever they are to her house. And keep in mind, those times there were no cell phones. They probably didn't have a phone in their house. Phones in houses were for the, I would think, people that has got more money than the picture that is painted that these people had. So it's, I don't just, the time sequence of things just doesn't make sense to me. And again, I believe that stuff like this happened, and I'm trying to figure out if I actually believe what is written in this book or not. It's just that so many things in this story doesn't make sense. I hang up. Back at the fire, John knows not to pry too much. Is everything cool? Is all he asks. For the time being, mate. For the time being. Anyhow, let's drink. I don't want to eat right now. John raises his glass to this. South Africans have a weird attitude when it comes to a braai. We like to get a few drinks under the belt before we start eating. The following morning, I'm all cock-a-hoop while travelling to the court building, but my mood is soon damped. It's approaching 9 a.m. and there's no sign of my suspect. The court session begins and I request that the prosecutor hold back on my case. He agrees and proceeds with other matters. At 9:45, there's still no sign of my suspect. By 10:30, I've had enough. I tell the prosecutor to call my case. Fuck Dave Allen now. I will put his ass in jail. That will guarantee he'll be here next time. The court orderly calls out Allen's name 3 times down the corridor. But Uncle Dave's a no-show. The magistrate accordingly issues a warrant for arrest, effective immediately. Now, I just have to pick him up. But first, I stop by the office. I feel like cracking open a beer, but it's too early. Plus, there's too many people around. I can't be seen drinking at this time of day. And then Gordon pops in. And I go back to what I've said in more than one video, is geez, this guy is really drinking. And the fact that he says, I feel like cracking open a beer, but it's too early. He doesn't mind people around will see or it's not the right thing to do. He's a cop. The thing he's worrying about is it's too early. And then, okay, yes, plus there's too many people around. So, would it be far-fetched to think that he is also a little bit of a dirty cop? I'm not saying that he was. I'm just thinking someone that would really, even early in the morning, pop open a beer while he is on duty. Yeah, that's just strange to me. Max, I think you need to get to the mortuary. What the hell for? I've got a suspect to locate. That's just it. Your suspect is waiting for you at the mortuary. Stone cold dead, mate. he says with a smirk. You're taking a piss, aren't you? No, Max. Word is spreading like wildfire. He's well known in the police circles. Better get down there and check it out. I rushed to the mortuary like a bat out of hell. This is not at all what I expected or wanted. If Alan's dead, then I will be denied seeing him being sent to jail for a couple of years. My moment of retribution. And even this, immediately, Max is thinking about himself. He's not thinking about all the boys that went through this. He's thinking about my moment of retribution. At the mortuary, I bump into Wimsias, the mortuary assistant. Got something for you, Max. Heard that he might be one of yours. Please don't let it be him. My voice is barely audible. I'm praying silently in deadly earnest, but my prayers aren't answered. Spread out on the mortuary slab, attired in only his birthday suit, is the body of Dave Allen. A single wood right in the center of his forehead displays the manner of his demise. I'm totally gutted. Now, all of his victims have been robbed of justice. Thank goodness. Now you start thinking about the victims. Thank you, we're on the right road now. And I've been robbed too. Jeez, here we go again. I stand there, looking at the corpse and the wound. And then it dawns on me. Something appears to be out of place. I'm assuming Uncle Dave would have held the barrel of the gun flush against his forehead before pulling the trigger. If so, then why aren't there any gunpowder burns on the skin surrounding the point of entry? Very strange. And that's the end of this chapter. And then again, what's strange is they say the wound is on his forehead. So why would you then immediately assume that he did it to himself? If I saw something like this and the wound is to the temple of the head, or the wound is in the mouth or something like that, sorry if that's a bit graphic, but then the first thought would be that it's self-inflicted. But something right in the middle of the forehead, I wouldn't think that it's self-inflicted. My thoughts would immediately go to someone did this. So is it really a good cop thinking that this is self-inflicted? Or, this book was written way after everything was said and done. So he basically knew ahead when writing this book. But then I would think, I just don't know. This part also doesn't make much sense to me at all. What do you think? And I just again want to say, me reading this book is actually part of me digging into this whole story, which is very interesting. It's not me saying that I believe this book for say, and it's not me saying that I don't believe this book. I think there's tidbits in this book that might be true, and I think there's tidbits in this book that might not. And the big uproar wasn't about Dave Allen. It was about the big names and the allegations against them. So once again, thank you so much for clicking on this video. This was quite a long one. Thank you so much for listening, and see you guys next time.